We meet Obinna, a clever but greedy man who feels poor despite living comfortably. A strange traveler arrives at night offering him endless riches if he sells his shadow. Obinna agrees, and instantly becomes wealthy. Obinna wakes up to see bags of gold and fine clothes. But when he steps outside, children scream, he has no shadow. Villagers whisper that he is cursed. Obinna ignores them, throwing a feast to celebrate his wealth. People stop visiting Obinna. Even his wife, Amaka, is uneasy. Crops near his compound begin to wither, and animals avoid him. At night, Obinna hears laughter but sees no one. The fear in the village grows. The village elders call a meeting and warn Obinna to leave if he does not restore his shadow. He refuses, proud of his riches. Amaka begs him to confess what he did, but he becomes angry and drives her away. Obinna wakes up to find strange black handprints on his walls. His shadow appears briefly on the wall, waving mockingly at him before disappearing. Obinna realizes he has lost control. Obinna finds the traveler in a dream. The traveler says he can return the shadow, but only if Obinna gives away all his wealth and helps the village. Obinna refuses, insisting he can solve it on his own. The village begins to suffer. Wells dry up, sickness spreads, and strange accidents occur. The elders blame Obinna and threaten to banish him. Amaka secretly visits him, urging him to seek forgiveness. Amaka prays at the shrine of the ancestors and dreams of a blind storyteller living deep in the forest who knows how to speak to shadows. She convinces Obinna to go on a journey with her. Obinna and Amaka set out into the forest. They encounter strange spirits that test Obinna's courage. He starts to feel compassion for others when he saves a lost child they meet on the way. They find the blind old woman who tells Obinna the truth. His shadow is angry because he sold it. She says he must make 3 great sacrifices to earn it back, or the shadow will drag him into darkness forever. Obinna gives away all his gold to the poor. His heart aches, but for the first time he feels peace. That night, his shadow appears faintly on the ground, but it is still twisted and restless. Obinna rebuilds the village well using his last resources. The village begins to prosper again. People forgive him, but that night, the shadow attacks him, leaving scratches on his body. The second sacrifice is not enough. The blind storyteller tells Obinna the final sacrifice, he must offer something he loves most. He hesitates, afraid. Amaka tells him that true love requires sacrifice and encourages him to choose. Obinna offers his beautiful farm to the village's community land. The ancestors accept this offering. His shadow finally returns, but it is now darker and stronger than before, almost like a separate being. Obinna discovers that at night, his shadow leaves his body to do wicked things, breaking pots, scaring children, ruining farms. The villagers think Obinna has returned to evil and prepare to punish him. Obinna tries to catch his shadow by lighting fires around his hut, but it slips away. The blind storyteller tells him he must tame it by facing his deepest fear, the greed in his own heart. Obinna confronts his shadow at midnight. The shadow speaks for the first time, mocking him for being weak. Obinna admits his faults, begging forgiveness. The shadow laughs and challenges him to a final test. Obinna faces visions of all his past wrongs, cheating neighbors, lying, hoarding food during famine. Each time he admits his guilt and asks for forgiveness. The shadow begins to shrink and soften. At dawn, Obinna and his shadow finally merge into one. Again, he feels whole for the first time. The villagers wake to find peace restored, crops healthy, water flowing, children laughing. Obinna gathers the whole village and tells them his story.